Welcome to Not Entirely Unlike Tea with Christine Collins. Hey there, it's Christine Collins, and today we are asking an interesting question that you may have experienced at some point, which is when you look back on something that you created a long time ago, perhaps a video or a project, some form of artwork, or even old photos where you see clothing you used to wear, a hairstyle you used to have. The question is, why do we cringe at our past selves? What are the mechanisms that are taking place when that happens? And nowadays this might come up because we have more of a record of certain things. We have social media. We can go back and see the history of previous posts. If you're an entrepreneur or a content creator and you create videos or blogs or some type of content that you share, sometimes going back and seeing some of your earlier work can make you feel a little cringy, largely because you've grown since that time that you've created those things. You've learned and probably do it differently today. But this goes beyond just some psychological discomfort. Your brain creates a little bit of a physiological response. So we have an error detection system, our anterior cingulate cortex, which lights up when we are looking back at past behavior, past creations. And it is the same neural pathway that activates when we touch something hot or we stub our toe or have a minor pain. So we're processing social discomfort as physical pain. And it involves the brain's pain matrix, the insula and somatosensory cortex, give us a little bit of a physiological feeling of discomfort. So we might even physically recoil or physically cringe when looking at that. The amygdala can also tag the memory with a stronger negative emotion in the sense of being a reminder of something that felt like a mistake that we don't want to repeat. And this might be more true with behavior rather than a piece of art or something that we've created, which we might look back on with a bit more compassion. But sometimes remembering something that we did, perhaps the way we treated someone else, or a decision we made that we would handle differently today. So we have our self-perception coming from the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, and it helps us to create some separation in our mind between our current self and our past self. And the further back that embarrassing moment perhaps was, the more our brain processes that experience as if it happened to a different person. And so this ties in a little bit with our mirror neurons, where we experience or witness someone else doing something, and it may activate some of our own emotional responses as if we were that person. So we're watching our past self as if they were someone else, a stranger, which gives us almost like a third-person perspective that can accompany that cringe memory. And then the brain also releases some stress hormones like cortisol during those moments, creating that physical discomfort. The good news, so that we don't slip into bad habits of beating ourselves up or self-deprecating thoughts, the benefit to this is that it does serve a purpose, an evolutionary survival type of purpose, which is our brain's way of creating social learning and preventing future social missteps. So there's almost like cognitive dissonance between who we were then, the things that we did, the things that we made, and who we see ourselves as today. We consider ourselves to be more evolved, more grown in some way, and that mental friction that we're experiencing helps us to have a sense that we do grow and develop over time, and ultimately we get better over time, whether that is we have more enhanced skills for the things that we are creating, or we feel more appropriate in our behaviors. We feel like we treat others better, we treat ourselves better, we make better decisions today than perhaps we would have done in the past. And interestingly, people who do not do this, who never cringe at their own past behaviors, may actually have less neural connectivity between these different self-reflection regions. And it's actually a healthy ability to be able to look back on your past self and to feel that you have grown as a person and to notice a discrepancy between who you were at that time and who you are now. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but we do want to embed a little bit of compassion for our past selves, recognizing that we didn't know as much as we know today. We didn't have the skills that we necessarily have today. So we're able to recognize that we've learned something and improved. So it's really just a way of our brain confirming for us that hopefully over time we have grown wiser. So I hope you found this to be interesting and insightful. Again, I'm Christine Collins. If you are looking for a little bit more self-compassion, a little bit more gentleness, and you have not yet tried hypnosis, yoga nidra, or some of the mindset tools that I offer in the Hypno-Pothecary, I invite you to check that out. All the information is there for you in the show notes. And until we connect the next time, I wish you the most magical and creative rest of your day. Thanks for listening. This is Christine Collins at transformcreate.com.